Hi friends, last time you saw me, I was in an Airbnb in South Florida. Now I am in an apartment in South Florida that I don't own, but I rent. So it's kind of mine, but it's kind of not. This is the office. We have a lot of work to do before we'll get to the place where we want it to be, but we've made tremendous progress thus far. Anyway, I want to share a photo walk with you. You gonna get it together over there, Christina?
Sorry.
I went on a rather frigid photo walk in Chicago with a Sony a7 Mark III and a Sony 70-200mm f4. It is a fantastic lens, and Chicago is a fantastic city for long lens photography. Enjoy. Hi friends, welcome to Chicago. It's my first time in Chicago. It's very cold today. I did not bring gloves or a beanie on this trip. They would be put to great use today. Hi, good morning. I can already tell that there's tons to work with in this city, and I love these above ground trains. When I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed, I always see people incorporating these in their photos. Oh yeah. Wow. Down we go. I'm having to alternate hands in my coat to keep them warm enough. If you live in a cold place, you know that there's a point where your hands will actually start to hurt, and it can be quite painful. So I'm trying to avoid that position. I'm gonna need my fingers for later photo walks. So I'm having to hold my breath whenever I pull the camera up to my eye because it fogs up the EVF immediately. So I'm having to use some really interesting strategery to keep that from happening. Breath strategery, the hardest kind. And then of course the mask can constrain your breath to some degree. So a lot of times I'll hold my breath to take a photo, and then I'll let out that breath in the mask, and I can't quite get enough air, and long story short, I'm dying. I like them glasses. Yeah, are you a street photographer?
Yeah, I'm a location scout for like TV shows and.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's great. What's this for?
It's for a show called. It comes with stars. A show called Power.
Oh, okay.
They're doing a spin-off here in Chicago.
Oh, all right, that's cool.
Getting some scenic shots of the Lake Street L and stuff.
Okay,
Like
that's cool. I'm a street photographer.
Street photographer.
I actually take photos of interesting people I meet. I actually love your look. You mind if I just take your photo really quick?
Oh yeah, no problem.
What's your name, man?
I'm Chuck.
All right, I'm James. Good to meet you. You want to stand maybe just right over here for me for a second? I won't take too long. I know you're busy.
Got to the other photographer.
That's right, man. Right there. There you go. That'll do. In the middle. All right, that's good. I got a long lens, so I got to back up a little bit. But
Say what?
sorry. I got a long lens, so I got to back up a little bit. Here, let me give you my card so you can know where it's going.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll share it on Instagram.
Awesome.
That's all.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right.
I'm taking a lot of pictures. I don't ever get pictures.
That's right.
Of me.
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. There you go, brother.
All right, thanks. You have
All
a
right.
good one,
Yeah, that's my website. Just look for the Instagram icon.
Got you.
All right. Have a good day. Actually, could have got a little closer on that one. I think I overestimated how long the lens was. I think I could have pushed in a little bit and got a bit more detail on his face. All right, let's change it up and head to the Chicago River. This is very pretty. I'm gonna pull out my iPhone. Hopefully it doesn't immediately die because of the cold. Do a little bit of this. Oh, that's freaking awesome. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to stop by my hotel for a few minutes and warm up. My hands are beginning to break down. I have lost my pinky. I can lose that one, but you know, the thumbs are a big deal. All right, out we go. Looking at some Chicago street inspiration. Wow, there's boats underneath there. That's crazy. So another issue I run into with it being so cold is I'm wearing a hood, which limits my vision. I feel like a stormtrooper, and to turn my head around, I have to turn my entire body. These train tracks really create some dynamic lighting situations. Like over here, you can see, you know, so we have dark right here, and then over there, bright spot. Things like that can be really useful. Hi. Back up we go. That was the same place I was earlier. How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Good. All right, I'm going to wrap up this one, eat some lunch, and hop on a plane. I will definitely be back to Chicago in the summer. Okay, that's it for this photo walk. I hope it changed your life. Now, considering the photo walk was a rather short photo walk, I wanted to talk about some other photographers who have created some really interesting work in Chicago. Let's look. Okay, first I want to talk about Daniel Marino, who, according to his Instagram profile, is from Venezuela and lives in Chicago. He does a fantastic job with nighttime photography, but he also gets out during the day as well. And one thing he's very good at is motion blur. He has a good handle on that. And here's a fine example of that. We have one of those giant neon-esque signs that you find all over Chicago in the background, and then in the foreground we have a train going by with lights on it. And here's another photo where you get a clearer view of those lights on the train. I guess they did this for Christmas time, which I think is really exciting. With this photo, we have a lovely composition of the train down at the bottom and various city elements in the background, but the eye is pulled towards the train because of the lights on the train, and then the headlights on the train as well. It's very clear where the focus of this image should be, but he built a fantastic composition around that. Back to this motion blur train shot. This is a great motion blur. You can tell he has a handle based on this image and other images on the technicals of how to generate a pleasing motion blur. Here's another example of that motion blur used in a very invigorating way. This shot would have been far less interesting if the train was not dragging a little bit. This photo, I believe, was taken in Philadelphia, or I know it is because I just looked at it on the Instagram page. Here we have a very pleasing photo of the city of Chicago and the water around said city, with the Willis Tower in the center with most of our attention. And then in the foreground, he did something really fun here. He put a railing. He used a railing as a foreground element to frame up the Willis Tower, and it makes the photo feel more pleasing. He tried this at probably either evening or morning time, and then at nighttime as well. Here's another photo using a very similar technique of another tall tower in Chicago. There are many. I forget what the name of this building is, but we have some icicles in the foreground and then some snow. Gives you a good feel for how cold things are. I think my neighbor just screamed. But he found a little spot where there was no icicle, either that or he broke an icicle off, and put the tower right in the middle of it. I think it's fantastic. Here's another one with one of those above ground trains that I was enjoying while I was there, and the train holding system. Bridge. What do you call it, a bridge when it's over a road going down the road? I'm not sure. We have a lot of things coming together in this photo. We have the train itself, the lights in the train. We have the street lights casting a very pleasing glow and acting as intriguing points of light. We have some cars around, nothing too distracting and dramatic going on the bottom, but some pleasing light play down there. And then we have this spattering of snow in front of everything, which adds an atmospheric quality. So this is an example of a bunch of different elements of a photo coming together to make the photo stronger. Okay, next I want to talk about another photographer named Nicholas Miller, who is actually a New York City-based photographer, but he has taken some photos in Chicago, and they are quite fantastic, very moody, and also nighttime. Seems like Chicago is a great nighttime city for street photography. So here we have perhaps the exact same Chicago sign as in Daniel's photo, with a man in the foreground. And it's really interesting what he did here, where the man is silhouetted, and then you have the light from the sign being where your eye goes to first, right? So this could be confusing in terms of where the focus is in the image, and the image could fall apart, but in this case, it works quite well. I think one of the reasons why this works so well is that the silhouetted person is a person. It's not a lamp, it's not a car, it's not a parking meter, it's a person. And there is a certain emotional weight that comes with having a person in a photo in general. Even though the person is silhouetted, a person has the most profound emotional weight in a photo as compared to any other subject that you could put in a photo. In this case, I like how he focused on the person and not the Chicago sign, because it makes the focus of the photo be both at the same time, this person and where this person is. I think it's interesting to think about what would happen to this photo if the focus was on the Chicago sign, right? Everything's the same, but the focus is on the Chicago sign. How would the focus of the photo shift? Something to think about. Here's another photo of his that communicates to me a sort of a coldness and a loneliness. We have this single person walking down the road, and they're not perfectly in the center, a little bit off to the side, creates a little bit of tension in the photo. And he's in a city that's supposed to be full of people, but it's just him walking down the road. I assume that's a guy. It looks like a male figure. And you have a bunch of cars to accentuate the fact that there should be people here. So the effect of all of this is, and also this long this long, dark tunnel of atmosphere. This is a great example of how using a long lens in Chicago can really pay off. Here's another one looking inside of a train, and if you notice, the people here are 90% silhouette as well. But the reason why this photo works so well is because the strength of the subjects. Once again, we have humans, but there's also this loving gesture happening between the two. And so I think that makes the photo work here. And then I'll leave with this one where we are on a train and then there's another train coming towards us. We get the sense from this photo that we are going somewhere and that other train is going somewhere. There's this implied narrative that's happening. If he would have shot out the window but left the window frame out, I don't think it would have portrayed this narrative in such a strong way. So everything you put in a photo affects the narrative of the photo, and to the most minute detail. So I think it's important to think about that when you're on the street. Obviously, the struggle with street photography is that you can't just build a scene. You're working with what is being given to you. And so that's the challenge and the excitement of being on the street, or one of them. That is it. Thank you so much for your time. If you made it this far, that means a lot to me. Another thing that would mean a lot to me is if you enjoy what I'm up to here, if you hit the like button or subscribe, that would mean a lot to me as well. Please feel free to comment below with your thoughts about this video and anything that you observed that you're intrigued about or confused about, or you're like, why would James do that? I want to know. I'd be happy to engage with you guys, and I try to respond to as many comments as I can. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.